Okay, here we are back inside MatrixGold once again. Thanks for stopping by. Hope you find the videos useful and helpful in your designing process. If so, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video. Really appreciate it. Again, thanks for all the support. I really appreciate it, everyone. I can't tell you how much. Some of the comments have just been absolutely amazing. I really hope it's helping you out, and hopefully you're getting better and better. Actually I am too. So let's work together to get better and better. Today, I'm going to the next couple of videos, I think, viewer requests. I'm going to try and catch up on those. I've been kind of neglecting them lately, so I apologize for that. But today we're going to do some inscribing on the inside of a ring for like your logo or just your company name or whatever you want to put on the inside. Maybe they want to inscribe something on the inside. So this is just a couple different ways to do that. There are a lot of different ways, but we'll just focus on two of them right now, because the logo you'll have to put on a little bit differently than just the text. So let's get going on that. First, let's go to our tools, and we'll just grab a ring rail, and I'll just go ahead and take the size 7. And first thing we might want to do is go ahead and change that curve seam, and we're going to grab that seam because right now it's at the top. We're going to hold down shift and move that down to the bottom, and then hit enter. It'll change our color to green there, and we'll just go right ahead and change that back to our ring rail, just so keep everything in order. All right, and now what we'll do is we'll just grab a profile here. So we'll go back to our tools, slap a profile in there. We'll do something easy for this video, and we'll just grab a flat inside, across the top there, and we'll just go ahead and sweep that and then hit enter, so that we'll just take this default thing here, right? So we have a little band out there, and you can do all kind of work. This will work with pretty much any kind of band. You'll just have to kind of keep an eye on the depth and everything. So the first thing we're going to do is I went ahead and drew out this little, this is my logo. It's a little diamond kind of thing. We have out here, and what I did was I just drew it out with curves, line curves, right, and then piped it, so we have all rounded edges. Rounded edges are good for the inside of things, because I guess it really depends on what kind of casting you're doing. If you're doing injection or vacuum casting, you probably don't have to worry about it so much. But if you're doing centrifugal casting, all that metal flowing in very quickly can, if they're squared off, it can break down. That metal will just rip those square edges off. So rounded are a little bit better. They seem to work a little bit better, but you could still have some issues with it, all that metal being pushed in there so quickly. But with vacuum and injection, I don't think it's as big as an issue, so you could probably just leave them squared off. That's probably fine. But I did this in piping. So let's go ahead and get some of our, maybe our company name or something out there. So I'm just going to draw a little line right here, and I'll change that to yellow here. And we'll go ahead and change this color here, and we'll go to, you have several commands. We'll just use the text objects right here, the parametric text objects. Well, actually we don't need that line, but we'll come back to that later. The first thing I'm going to do is, once you use the text objects, your dynamic commands pop up over here. So you got all kinds of options you can work with over here. Right now it says MatrixGold. That says MatrixGold. We're going to change it to DFD. DFD. So that's my company name, abbreviated or whatever. And you can change it to any kind of font that you have in your computer or that you install or whatever. So you can change it to any kind of font or whatever. We're just going to go ahead and keep it in the Arial for right now. We will change this a little bit, but we'll work on that as we move along. Font size, you can, right now it's at 1. You can adjust it bigger or smaller. Right now I'm going to go ahead and make it bigger. And there's a reason for that. Later I'll go and make it smaller again. We're going to break history on this because I want to, like I said, if you're doing vacuum or injection casting, those squares will probably be fine. You don't have to do this part maybe. But if you're doing a centrifugal cast, maybe it's probably not a bad idea just to go ahead and take a little bit of time to make it a little bit, chances much higher that those will come out okay. So right now we have it pretty large, right? So we'll just keep it there for right now. Depth, you can adjust the depth of it, and you can go back and adjust this in different ways later, but we'll just keep it something like that. Bold, we'll definitely go ahead and take it to bold so we can get nice lettering out there. Italic, you can change it to italic if you want. Letter spacing, that spacing right there is really tight, and if you're, like I said, if you're doing centrifugal casting, that's really probably going to break down, and you're just going to get one big flow from here to here and here to here. So you might want to bump up that text. Even vacuum casting, I'd probably go ahead, or injection casting, I'd probably go ahead and just bump that out a little, just make a little better space in there. And then of course letter spacing there. Okay, so we'll just say this is what I want, but before I do anything else, I'm just going to go ahead and drag it up out of the way, and we'll go ahead and rotate that 180 because I want to work on the bottom. And what I could do also is I could go to one of the perspective, ribbons here, go down here, set view, and I could go to bottom. So you could change the viewport to the bottom, right? So right here, right, there's the top. You can go in here, you can change set view, and you go to bottom, and it should show you the bottom of the, oh wait a minute, I got to accept this before I can change the view. So it's flipped over right now. So let's just take that right now. Okay, so now if I go in here and I take this and I set view, set it to bottom, now I can see the bottom of the letters, right? We'll just go ahead and set this back to perspective for right now. I've already have it flipped over, so perspective, there we go. All right, so we have it flipped over there, and I'll just enlarge this one here now. And we'll get rid of all this right here for right now, and we'll just hide it. We just want to work with our lettering. Like I said, if you're doing injection or vacuum, you probably don't have to worry about this part, but if you're doing centrifugal, it's not a bad idea just to take the time. So let's get in here. We'll go to solids, and we'll go ahead and fillet edges, blend edge, and then we'll go ahead, preview yes, chain edges, and we'll pick this outside here and then that one there, so it gets all that. We'll hit enter. It's a 0.3. I have it set at a 0.3, and that's probably fine, so let's go ahead and accept that and enter, and we'll just check it. It says close service, so we're good to go. I'll right click, bring that back, chain edges, this one here and that one, hit enter, 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 and we have closed poly service. And I'll just keep doing this to all these others. So I'll do the chain edge on each one of them. So there, take that edge, 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 this one, and our last one there, or this last one, and then hit enter. 0.3 should be fine. Enter, enter, and we're good. Close poly service. One more time, chain edges, this one here, that one, enter, 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 and one more time, chain edges, this one and that one, and hit enter, enter, enter. Okay, so check, close poly service, so we're good to go. Once we did that, as you can see, we broke history on it, so we really don't have the history on that anymore. So what we want to do now at this point is go ahead and flip it back over 180, so it's back to our right side, and the cutout will have the rounded edges going into it. You could go ahead and fillet these too if you'd like. We'll just go ahead and keep those straight for this part, and we'll bring back everything, and this we'll get rid of, and this we'll just kind of drag up out of the way for a second so we can see it. And Now what we need to do is, since our seam is down here now, we know that, so that's cool. So what we want to do is we want to select that inside ring rail. Okay, and then we want to type in our command line, LENGTH, and then hit enter, and it'll give us the millimeter size of that inside ring rail. And I'm just going to go ahead and highlight that, right click on it. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go to my line, change it to yellow, and I'll just pop a line out there, and then I'll come down here, I'll right click in there, and I'll put paste, and it locks it into that exact size of my ring rail. Hold down shift and then click, and now I have it there, right? So now I want to take this, and let's go ahead and just go ahead, well, that one we want to keep. We'll just go ahead and get rid of our ring here and hide that. And we'll go ahead and take this, go to transform, center object, enter, and then we will take this here, right click, center object, enter. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make, oh, I need to flip it, don't I? So let's go ahead and flip this 180. There we go. All right, and now I need to make this about the same size as my little logo, diamond logo, right? So let's go ahead and go to, we're in our transform menu, we'll go to scale, we'll go to 3D, we'll go from F4 and hold down, click out here and just kind of watch, see where it's at with our other item there. And there we go, something like that. So we'll take this and we will drag it over to this side. We'll take this and we'll just flip that 180. So now it's same, right? It's 2 millimeter, that's okay. And we'll go back and do that scale one more time. Let's make it a little bit bigger, 3D. We'll pick this point right here and make it just about the same size as our diamond there, right? And we'll drag it over a little bit. So we got something like that, right? And there's my line. So I'll take my line and I'll just kind of move it up over here. And we'll take all this here and I'll go in here. Let's make it bigger. I'll grab this with that point right there, and I'll just snap it to that little end right there, and then I will drag everything over something like that, right? And it'll bring back our ring. Okay, so we have this all set up. Now the only thing we have to, I'm going to change this here to this color, and I'll swing that around here. Oh, it's upside down. Okay, so there we go. DFD. Okay, so we have it pretty much set up. Now all we have to do is go to flow along curve, right? And first thing it will do is select objects to flow along curve. That'll be these here. Hit enter, select our base curve. That's our curve that it's on, which is exactly the same size as this one. And then I'm going to select this side of the C plane right there, and then click there and hit enter, and it post them up there. Oh, okay, that's my bottom up there. There, which I got it upside down or something. Okay, I got it backwards here or something. It's supposed to be like this. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, okay. It's still flipped. So let's go back up here. Is that diamond flip too? Yeah. Let's go back up here, select all this, and let's do that flip. Enter. And it will update everything for us. Okay, I'm getting tired of that one. So let's go to view and reset view, and we'll give it some shading. There we go. Now we have everything out there, and there it is, right? So what we can do is we can drag that anywhere we want on that line, and it will automatically update. So you can put it to wherever you want. Say I want it right there. And then last thing you want to make sure of is go in and check out your depth. So let's go to all viewports to change it to wireframe and see how deep you're in. And that looks pretty good, actually. Yeah. So at this point, all you have to do is really just do the Boolean, and I'll show one more way after this one. Let's go in DFD. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that Boolean. Go to our solids, go to Boolean difference, select first surface, enter. Something happened there. Okay, so let's do it again. Boolean difference, select first surface, enter, and then we'll take this and these and hit enter, and enter one more time, and then we'll just turn all this off, and there you have your cutout, right? Which is and it has little rounded edges going around, so hopefully it would come up a little bit better for you. But yeah, yeah, that looks pretty cool. All right, now there's another way. It's much easier to do the second way here. So what we're going to do is, I believe, where's it at? So I'm going to go over here and type in text. And then I'm going to text on curve right here. And then select curve. I'm going to select this curve, our ring rail, right? And it'll automatically throw up our matrix gold right there. But it looks like it, and you can adjust where you want it. We're going to want maybe over here on this side somewhere, and take a look at it. And it's kind of like backwards, right? So with our other text, of course. So we have a vertical flip, and we have a horizontal flip, vertical and horizontal. So now probably go back to that vertical, click that all. Yeah, there we go. And we have it out there, right? So this, we'll just do an easy one here. Again, right here where it says text, surface, you'll need to select your surface and hit enter. Okay, and then you can change your font any way you want, of course. Font size, you can change your font size. We'll just put it back to the original there, something like that. Bold, I'm going to go ahead and click on bold. You could do italic, letter spacing. Let's go ahead and type in what I want right here, and that's just a 14K. And then hit enter, so that'll put my 14K out there. And it looks like it's backwards here. So let's go back in here. This one, there we go. Now it's where I want it. And you can actually also grab that curve and move it to where you want. And you can change the size. You have all the commands right there that you can move around anytime. And then let's see. The last thing you want to do is check your depth. And it's going in maybe a little. And this one will not lay it out rounded. You would have to go in there and do the roundness on it. I just like to do them larger with the blend curve or blend, because it's just much easier, and then make them smaller, because if you're making it smaller, you'll have to readjust all kinds of sizes in order to get it right. So I just make them bigger and then transfer them to smaller. It's just easier for me, but you can do it however you like. This one, let's see, depth 1 millimeter. We're going to take it down to maybe a little bit less than that. So let's click on here. Maybe a little bit. 0.7 is probably good. So let's just go ahead and take that, and then just hit enter, and then you can go back to your solids menu and pick your Boolean. First surface, enter. Second surface, enter, and there's your 14K, right? Which is pretty cool. And you can always go in here, text on curve. You can edit it, which will show it back up, and you can make adjustments accordingly, position or whatever. It'll update, or if you wanted to take it over to the other side, you could do that. So there's lots of things you could Let's abort that and just keep it right there. All right, so that's one way or two different ways of doing text on the inside of rings. You can make that smaller. Of course, you don't need to have it so large, depending on what you're wanting. And then those are all rounded off at the bottom, and that one's just cut out solid squared. All right, so hopefully this will help on putting logos and stuff on the inside of your bands and doing all your stamping and stuff like that. It's a real easy way of doing it. So hopefully this helps, and if it does, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, share the video, and good designing. Thanks very much for your time.